Good morning, everyone. Ben here. And unfortunately, we have only one Senate race that has any new information or polling that I would consider worthy. There was a state where there was some stuff in Indiana I was tempted to, but I looked at the poll that was released, and it was a partisan poll, except I couldn't find who they polled. The results didn't seem to match with any information we've had about the state of Indiana, and I just decided to completely throw it out because it looked like a very sketchy poll. One that, truth be told, I don't even think you should mention, because I couldn't find the demographic information in any of the cross tables. And it showed numbers that would seem more in place in a state like, well, let's be honest, Virginia than Indiana, given nowadays what things are like. So, I don't know. But literally every other state, and I went through every single state to see if there was a new poll, and there hasn't been. I expect there to be new polls next week because we'll finally get the mid-August stuff. Thankfully, September's almost here, and we'll actually get reasonable information come September. More reliable information, at least. And more consistently, too. Well, let's talk about New Mexico for a little bit. Because Gary Johnson is, well, he's actually running. Somehow. I'm not sure if he's even going to bother campaigning, but a mid-August poll was released, and it shows Martin Heinrich at 39%. Of course, there's 30% undecided in this one, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Mick Rich at 11 and Gary Johnson at 21. Normally, I would say this isn't that big a deal. But here's the funny thing. I think there's a decent chance that Gary Johnson could play spoiler to one or possibly both Heinrich and Rich. I think there's a decent chance that Gary Johnson is going to play spoiler in this race. And he actually has a chance of winning it outright. I want to see a poll with fewer undecideds, obviously. But Gary Johnson is pretty much the candidate. He's actually a good candidate for New Mexico. Other than the fact that he's almost always stoned off his ever-loving, rear end. But damn you, YouTube! I can't cuss in my videos anymore. But no, I still think that this is almost assuredly going to go for Heinrich. I just want I want more information. I just thought that was an interesting little polling nugget. I kind of laugh a little bit at it. I don't really see anything. So let me actually talk about, now that we're done with the only state that there is to talk about that has new information, let me tell you what the color coding means for me. Any state that I consider a tilt to one direction or another is just so that I don't have blank states on my map, because I consider any tilted state to be a true toss-up. I'm just calling who, if I absolutely had to put money on it, even though I really don't want to, that's the candidate I would expect to win the election. Not just as it stands, but given that I don't like to cover it as a horse race, I kind of like to say, well, this is where the race stands, but things are probably going to change a little bit, so this is kind of my confidence level in the prediction. Is like, I don't really even consider this, Rick Scott leading, but I certainly don't consider Bill Nelson to have a lead in the race. See, this is a true toss-up, but I would expect it to be a Republican pickup in just barely most scenarios. The leans, those are states like New Jersey, West Virginia, Indiana, Tennessee, etc., Missouri. These are states where I feel comfortable enough saying that this candidate or this party has the advantage in this state at this time, and that'll probably maintain for the rest of the race. It may expand, it may slightly shrink, but I don't really expect things to change too much, but I'm not super confident in that, as in they're swingy enough that I can easily see a path for, in this case, Claire McCaskill to lose and Hawley to win. I can easily see that. Unlike, we'll go to the likelies now and explain what that means. Unlike in the likelies, let's go to Texas and use that as an example, where something has gone horribly wrong if Ted Cruz loses this seat. Beto O'Rourke is not going to win under normal circumstances. It would take a lot to get the seat to flip blue. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not. That's why it's not safe. But I really don't see... I don't see an easy path or even a moderately difficult path. It is a massive uphill climb for Beto O'Rourke. It's not to say it's not possible. It's just, it's going to be monumentally difficult. So I feel comfortable in saying that this is likely for the GOP, just like I think this is likely for the Democrats in these three states, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania. And then we go to the safe states. We can use these two as an example. Where safe means I do not see a realistic path for the party or candidate that is behind to win. It's not even that it's not possible. Again, it is always entirely possible that things flip. But the problem with here is that it would take a combination of events so unlikely to happen that it's not worth our time to speculate about what it would take to flip those states at that time. Similarly, in New Mexico, that said, New Mexico I'm putting on watch just because of Gary Johnson, but I don't expect that to hold. I expect it to bounce right back to Martin Heinrich in the long run. So states to watch in the upcoming weeks are Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. I'm going from west to east in this case. New Mexico, North Dakota. Go ahead and keep an eye on Texas. Missouri, of course, Indiana, Tennessee, Florida, Minnesota special, West Virginia, New Jersey, and yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. This is what the map looks like as of right now. My prediction map, if my prediction holds. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Bye.